Welcome everyone. Here's our last tutorial for the election headquarters graphics. We are going to want to make some kind of TV background container image that's going to have our logo, as you see here. It also is going to have the title of our program, and the anchor possibly could also be in here. As you can see, we made a background that included a flag, some Roman columns, our logo, and our text for our show. This tutorial is intended to take you through a couple of the steps of making something similar to this type of background image. So how do we get started? We're going to start by making a new document. At our 720p resolution settings, we would probably want to start with a transparent background, although it's not required. You could start with a white background. So here's the start of our document. I'm going to pull up some of the images that I used in this project. I used this Roman column image. I also used this flag image. So let's start combining things together. So our first step, pulling up GIMP again, there we go. We want to pull in our flag image. So this can be done pretty easily. We're just going to find that image wherever we've saved it, pull it in from our desktop, and drag and drop it in. So now we have a layer with the flag in it. We're going to scale that layer. So we're going to go to the Scale tool, click on our flag, and just drag it to the corners. Just like that, and say Scale. Now you might want to, if you're worried about resolution, quality, and pixelization, you might want to link up this link when you scale, but likely for your background image it's not that important. Say Scale, and now my flag is covering the entire background. I'm going to next find my Roman columns, which I've saved in my pictures files. There's my picture files, and I'm going to drag my Roman columns in. Now it looks like we have a couple of problems here. We have a black background that we're going to want to get rid of. We're going to want to make this look like an overlay effect. If you can see from the original, I made it look like I got rid of the black and scaled the size of it, made it bigger. You made it look sort of transparent, so it combined with the flag. So back to here. First step, when we brought this Roman column in, it's a JPEG layer. We need to make it so that it's not a JPEG layer. So we're going to click and make a new layer that's transparent. I'm going to move that new layer underneath my Roman column layer. And I'm going to right click and merge the two layers together. When I do that, it's now a GIMP layer, it's no longer a JPEG layer, and I can have more functionality with the tools in GIMP to do effects on the Roman columns. So how do I get rid of this black area? That's my next step. I want to choose the Select by Color tool, choose the black, like that, and then cut it, Command X. So I've gotten rid of the black. I'm going to select None. And now I want to, like I did with my American flag, I'm going to scale my columns. So I'm going to choose the Scale tool. Now you may run into this where my layer is too big and it's going to be hard to scale. I could change this to percents and scale it that way, but it's going to be tough to scale it. So I'm going to cancel my scale. I'm going to choose my Crop tool, and I'm going to make my layer smaller. before I can make it bigger. So I choose crop, I outline the image that I want to make bigger. I say crop current layer only, and then crop. And what it's going to do is, see this yellow outline here? Now the layer is that size, so when I go to scale, it's going to be easier to scale. See how I now have these nodes that I can pull right there. So I'm going to pull it this way, make it bigger. I'm going to pull this one this way, make it bigger. And now I've made my Roman columns bigger. I'm going to say scale. And we're getting a little bit closer to what we want. The next thing I did was I changed the mode of this scaled Roman columns, and right now it's on normal mode, and I can try it in a couple of different modes. Here it is in overlay mode. Here it is in hard light. Difference. Darken only. Lighten only. And I sort of like the lighten only. I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to drop the opacity down to 70%. Okay. And I might even drop it even farther, 50%. Okay. The next thing I did was I played around with the colors of this flag just a little bit. I went to colors and curves, and I just played with the curves tool on the flag, sort of like this. Kind of give it some highlights, some neon effects in this area. Say OK. And I'm getting a lot closer to what I had in my original. There's the original, and there's my new graphic. The next thing I did was came up with a way to make the inner portion of the graphic a little bit darker, so I can see my text. And I did it with a white shadow. So come back over to this. I'm going to add a layer. I'm going to call this gradient effect. Okay. I first made a selection in the gradient effect layer, like this. Then I chose the blend tool, and your tool options may be on this side of your screen. Be careful with that. And I blend it as a square. So your blend is probably set to linear. I blend it as a square, like that, and drew a diagonal line. Okay, so what it does is it just sort of lightens up the center portion of my graphic. You can see it better here. And then my next step was to blur that. So I turned my selection off, and I went into filters, distorts, blur, Gaussian blur, and I blurred that selection out. Sort of like that. And then I made a couple of those, and I duplicated them like that. And you can see we're getting closer. I also did some work on with filters, playing around in here with distorts. I think I did a few things in here as well, and you can play around in those and see what you like to do. But basically, we've got a nice start moving in the direction of what I did here. Not that difficult. You can do this. You just have to play and experiment, and you can do it too. That's all for now. Good luck making your background graphic, and have fun with the rest of the project.